Ask him about going after journalists, which he's also said. I'm interested in the answer to that question.
Yeah, I'm sure.
We'll be right
I'm
back.
sure Democratic friends will ask him, and you shouldn't worry about Kash Patel.
Okay.
You should worry about reporting the news fairly, which you don't do when it comes to everything Trump.
Lindsey Graham, you're a guest on this program
thanks.
because we wanted to hear you out, and we welcome you back,
Good.
as we
Thank
often do,
I'll be
anytime,
back.
to Legacy Media.
Hey, what's up, fam? It's your boy here, and we're diving into another mess today. This time, it's about how certain news outlets, particularly CBS and its Face the Nation host, are not even trying to hide their biases anymore. We saw a recent segment featuring Senator Lindsey Graham. Now, I'm not here to defend everything Graham does, but what we saw on Face the Nation was a masterclass in how to twist a conversation to fit your own narrative. And it was all about Kash Patel and his nomination to the FBI.
Kash Patel, the pick to run the FBI, doesn't even have a hearing scheduled yet. In his 2022 memoir, Bill Barr said of Kash Patel, he's someone with no background as an agent, who would never be able to command the respect necessary to run the day-to-day operations of the Bureau. He has virtually no experience that would qualify him to serve at the highest level of the world's preeminent law enforcement agency. The idea of moving him into a role like this showed a shocking detachment from reality. Was Attorney General Barr wrong then and wrong now?
Yeah, he was wrong then, he's wrong now, and I take my advice on Kash Patel from Trey Gowdy, dear friend from South Carolina who worked with Kash. Kash was a public defender, he was a prosecutor, he worked with Trey Gowdy about the Russia hoax, so I do think he has the experience, he has the trust of the president, and we'll see how all this plays out. But Trey Gowdy is enthusiastically supporting Kash Patel, and that means a lot to me.
Well, okay, but he's got a list he's published, Kash Patel has. He published it in a book of enemies. It includes people like the FBI director, Defense Secretary Austin, Bill Barr, former White House counsel Pat Cipollone, former CIA director Gina Haspel, the head of CENTCOM. I mean, do you take him at his word here that these are an enemies list and you're going to put him in a law enforcement role to go after him?
I believe the hearing will expose him to be a very qualified man of the law. He wrote a book. He'll have to answer questions about what's in the book. But I'm ready to vote for him because I know him too. See, you never asked me about the Russia hoax that he exposed. People on the right believe that he was part of the solution, not the problem.
Let's be clear. The host, Margaret Brennan, was not trying to understand Graham's perspective. She wasn't trying to have a real discussion. Instead, she used the platform to smear Kash Patel and, by extension, Trump. It was clear from the start that her objective was to create sound bites that could be spun for the Democratic base. First, they brought Graham on, seemingly to hear his views. But right away, the line of questioning was about attacking Patel. It's classic gotcha journalism, not seeking to inform but to incite. The host jumped straight to accusations about Patel having an enemies list, a claim based on his book. Let's stop for a moment. We talk about being fair and balanced. The host and mainstream media are happy to run wild with these accusations about an enemies list. They've been making these claims for years about Trump and now Patel, but they don't discuss how they were all too happy to stand by and watch while the DOJ and intelligence community took actions against Trump. There's a deep-seated hypocrisy. Here, we're supposed to believe that these same media outlets, quick to jump on the enemies list concept, didn't raise an eyebrow when Letitia James ran for office specifically on prosecuting Trump. Where was their outrage then? Nowhere to be found. They even suggest that this was an acceptable course of action, but that Kash Patel is a threat. When you examine the evidence that they presented, none of it justifies this line of questioning. It's a blatant double standard that we have to call out. It's not journalism, it's an agenda being pushed on us through our televisions. What's really going on here? Why are these outlets so desperate to derail Trump's picks? What's the real problem with Kash Patel? He's seen as a disruptor, someone who could actually clean up the FBI and expose corruption. The media seems to have deep issues with people like Kash Patel who want to fix what is a broken system. He's not a career establishment figure, and that scares the hell out of the people who are happy with the status quo. Patel dared to speak up about the Russia hoax, which they would like to have us forget. The host tried to portray Patel as someone unqualified, but Graham correctly points out his experience as a public defender and prosecutor. Graham even refers to the support Patel has from Trey Gowdy, a well-respected figure. This suggests Patel is qualified, despite the media's attempts to spin it otherwise. The desperation is palpable.
Lindsey, Lindsey Graham, this is a far cry from the question about Kash Patel. Are you you're committing to vote for him no matter what?
Yeah. Well,
you are going to vote for Kash Patel?
I won't say no matter what, but yes, I am ready to vote for Kash Patel because you will never ask me the role he played in exposing the darkest moment of the FBI since J. Edgar Hoover. That's why I trust him.
The host, as the sources note, was clearly trying to steer the conversation and cut Graham off so that it would fit her narrative. There was a clear effort to paint Graham as a Trump loyalist who would support anyone he nominates. The quick shift from questions to accusing Graham of being a Trump puppet reveals her intent. Let's not forget, this is all happening in the context of Trump derangement syndrome being alive and well in mainstream media. This is not about Patel or Graham. It's about the media's fear of anything that challenges their established narrative. They aren't seeking truth. They're protecting their version of it. We need to be more critical of what we see on these news programs. We need to stop accepting blatant bias as news. These outlets aren't interested in informing you. They are interested in manipulating you and influencing your opinion. So what do you all think? Are you seeing the same things? Do you think the FBI can be cleaned up? Can people like Kash Patel do that? Let me know in the comments.